at the monastery, go to your room and meditate. And especially my job was to teach you guys. And for the one who chants, it's his job, not mine. He's the one who needs to chant. But then past years, I was not feeling well, and I was not able to chant it continuously. So for this reason, this year they kept the chant master here. And Kimberly told me that you can relax and just rest after giving teaching. You don't have to chant. And even though I'm not a teacher, a great kind of teacher, after giving you teachings, it is not suitable if I just go to my room and just sleep. It's my responsibility to teach you guys and because it is my and Lamak Tsumegasa's responsibility to teach you guys, because Rinpoche gave this responsibility to both of us. To be honest, we all are the same. We all are the same. We're just sitting on a throne here, and we all are the same. We all need to recite. We all need to chant. It's not like I'm the only one who is giving teachings. It's not that. So for all of you, you all should try to be aware of the meaning and just understand the meaning, just not recite it. And even though I do not have a beautiful voice like the translators, I will try to explain my best. And for those of you who are aged, you guys talk a much, please don't talk because it's our habit. And if we talk a lot, we'll get used to it and we will talk everywhere we go, even though we are on the road. Everywhere we go, we just talk and talk. And when we come to a monastery, we talk. Especially, it's the habit of us Nepali to talk everywhere we go. Don't make yourself full. So try to understand the meaning.
제마 디파 비슷하다 도미도 또 그러다 아니 나도 이게 야와도 또 왔다 샤바쿠니 하나만 됐었다 두 개리 두 개씩 두바다 세비 뭐 몰라 리기 고모 우리가 리기 고모 리기 부 아니 나게 부 계란기 리기도 현재 니마테를 순지 답송아 딱 이건 다 순간에 제가 딱 비가 마셔다 이래 가만히노 제마와 지진나는 그래서 그리는 수도 안 비거든요 답송 제마 마시 아스다 비가 마사 제마와 지를 지나 거기서 뭐 주니 라마마 티니 나도 주어라 거기서 뭐 공대와 이거만 하시다니 그거냐 거기서 비기 tukang rangi bunga itu ini tadi tadi nyata sah ani yang itu jema dewala rimsi shu betul betul aku terus sah ini kalau dia bawa langsung aku terus jadi sah ini kalau baru orang terus nasa
So yeah, again, up till now was the confession. And so you say, I openly admit at all the damaged and broken root and branch to mine as a body, speech, and mind. I beseech you, please cleanse and purify me of all my misdeeds, obscurations, downfalls, and stains. So we've recited the 100 syllable mantra, right? We've supplicated in this way Vajrasattva's attention to us, and we've made this confession in front of Vajrasattva. And now comes the last of the four antidotes, the four powers, the power of the vow. It essentially means the power to not do this again, the power to give it all up, all negativities, to not do it again, that kind of resolution. It's called the power of resolution. So the following lines are the effect of having done this. Supplicating in this way delights Guru Vajrasattva, who with a smiling face says, "Child of noble family, all of your misdeeds and obscurations are purified." So at this time, we've confessed, we've done the mantra, we've confessed before Vajrasattva, and due to that, Vajrasattva becomes extremely delighted, and he smiles and says, "My child, you've been completely purified of all your misdeeds and obscurations." So at this point, you genuinely believe, you genuinely see that all your obscurations have been purified, right? You have a kind of deep down confidence in that fact. And then so Vajrasattva says, so all of your misdeeds and obscurations are purified. So having said that, that itself is in a kind of subtle way, he's saying, now that they're all purified, don't do any more bad things, right? So you're good, but don't again fall into doing bad habits and doing negative deeds. And so with that, it says, thus absolving me, he melts in delight, dissolves into me, and I myself become full of glorious Vajrasattva. And so with great delight, he says that. He turns into light, he dissolves into us. So normally we visualize Vajrasattva on top of our head, but at this point, he dissolves into us and we become Vajrasattva in body, speech, and mind.
So because on cook page number 106. Ngöndro có anh của chỗ mua mấy mua để gì mà.
So now we're going to go straight to dedication just because we've gone a little late. So straight to dedication.
Itama spiritualist. Pero kasi na ako dili ba ni ako dili ako dili ba yo. Ako dili ba wala. Ay. So ako sa kanya subject mako sa kanya lamu kota ko kanya o mo ba no no ka asik mo kali. Kita natin naman sare 41. Ha? 30. Oh, yo military balas kape to. Ha? Alay. Alaya Maramu. Right? Just one Alaya Vanasu Tata or Alaya Maramu. Right? Oh, I say your Pacific and Tata. And it's for Shikamanajo, Abuda Mole, the Sinisatana. Some Basha, Amale, Samtala, Masto, answer it. Oh, this is to Hardy Mobile, and the guitar Alaya Hasani, Testo Havana, where I say now, and the other woman Alaya. Sonam de Ramja Sebani Tonen Donam Bamje de Jagana Balado Sebe Solan Dovando Varasho. 포로파는 동산이.
관리죠?
하나 포로파는 동산이.
예, 보러 갈래도.
공한테 아무리요다 군발이 되게 아마도 그러고다 때 띵지 전에 받으면 거에 반해 그냥 시다 그냥 저번 전에 받았으니
보라. 얘도.
그래도 받았으니 시다 거에 반해 아무것도 이 포로파는 동산이. 말로 받았으니 그래서 맞아요. 아니 그냥 멘치 강 받는 게
면치고.
멘치 강 받는 게 아니 여기다 이거 군발이만 하면 되니
얘는 지금
시에가라 벌써 시에가
시간
아니 보다 꾸라만 보니 아무로 연바고 여러 그 다다 구상도 지고 사바도 준도 찾아봤지 마차 그냥 보도마 에스토 보다 에스토 꾸라고 해봐네 우다들에 우다 금바선이 보다 에스토 꾸라 봐네 보다 고다 빠친데라 우다 금바선이 오 계속 금바고 아니 또다 그냥 만데 김펜 봐네 그 요런
얘 줄대는
아, 저때마다 뉴다 뜬다. 에다서 내려서면서.
알레. 얘는 거로.
김펜 못 얻고라면 김펜 많이 얻어. 그냥 김펜 우로 금방 올라마오.
얘고?
그냥 올라마오 따라 와서 아리나 무스코데 출사pad다 출로데 샷다pad다. 저때만 우다 샤도 그러면서. 근데 doctor tiene un segundo no para tener o se te quiere para tener para un sal pero doctor azo sena azo ayda bak ale ya dur 시대로 공부하시고 시대로 공부 좀 하라고 칼라사 연구인 라인 아주 몰라 어디 샤도 쓰나 보라 마샤 쓰마라 리미스타가 도게입니다 어디 여기도 되게 뭐지 아프다 도도란다 누가도 찾아내 줘 어디 지하도 나야 어쨌든 남기네 시라로 말해 야와 나 쇼가 금박사 쇼보다 너무 가자 잡았어 딱 되어래 Guru Bama Bawagan Sundaj Mandamje Gokarada Sundar Ngaje Loyan Tuje Gombar Baraja Dante Dada Jende Sinjambo Dinjana Jambo Jo Jalamaga Sonanje Mendala Duje Jenye Dada Gamzo Seloma Dinje Mandana Dezene Dole Nawa Madru Jube Sende Shengaje nezo dembe jembalama jenje jejone lengaye nanyo mene bade nezo gomendela lejawa denje dala jone de nyange jende daraje denye domaye jelama gande zona Menage gozo jenje lo. Bande zave lama rimbo dagi jivro beme de jola gade kone jeson kozon do jem do zon de zon de dan jenje lama rimbo jenje da jenje menje Salanje doma jema jela jeva jela dos sendenye lawaza zoma jemela jo tarjemba jela dos deza zanje dam jenje wala marembo jenje dage jeme dawa jenje Salanje doma jemra jenjela jeva jenjela dos senenye lawaza zoma jemela jo tarjema jenjela dozo dezo zanje tanje mavala marembo jenje dage jenje dawa jenjela Salanje doma jemra jenjela jeva jenjela dozo senenye lawaza zoma jemela jodra jema jenjela dozo zovande zola marembo dove mendo jenje gamendo Rıza cele Töye yürme Rıba jencelo Sovancım Lamarım boce Dove medodin Cece kamelalar Rıza cele Töye yürme Rıba jencelo Sovancım Lamarım boce Dove medodin Cece game Geleme doye yermedim Çencelo Enje Madage Joje Gane Danjon Donye Baga Denej Jalanye Gawa Robe Loga Majo Rejelene Dononye Karande Jeje Bama Madonam Shelemele Nyabagala Dada Deme Gurboraje Lede Melo Deme Nedoro Noazame Zebe Jazala Kurayazeme Nyamonyezel Jawanam Jeleme Dala Zelenye Damze Kando Damje Damze Bala Jeme Dando Zejela Jeme Jene Jaza Lome De La Le Lo Nyewa Lo La Ve Nyeme Dane Nyere Yama Jene De De Le Me De Gozo De Je Danyang Anen Lama Yedon Namje Do De Je Gado Namje Gaye Jeba Deve Danye Menya Yala Lo Jose Jenya Zona Jevel Geve Javadan Do Jola Do Denye Zoye Jengam Bezo Waza Shinge Dombo Yaga Bezo Bema Dandon Jebe Zave Lama Guru Bema Reze Dodo Jaze Gurjem Sendo Yanda Yanda Heru Gajena Jene Yanda La Yezo Yezo Jone Shaya Duba Chejo Dezo Zanje Namje Mura Jando Dezo Dambe Chenange Bedeja Seye Dadanje Yendo Chanse Nyeran Jende Barza Jeje Yaga Dorande Kando Damje Damje Dendo Dendo Je Dongma Jela Zenje Yeyen Dendo Danda Bame Zedane Bame Kanya Zenje Gen Sheme Dende Nyemba Jamba Je Kurve Zene Tarde Zenje Kozo Neve Jazun Rovara Me Namo Dada Ganya Zenje Malim Lama Zanje Zedang Gende Da Yendamba Kando Chejon Zo Doje Jene Nala Jazo Je Namo Dada Ganya Zemje Malim Lama Zanje Zedang Gende Da Yendamba Chejon Zo Doje Jene Nala Jazo Je Namo Dada Kanya Zemje Malim Lama Zanje Jadang Genden Da Yendamba Kando Chejon Tuje Jene Namla Jazo Je Javyo Namje Vasre Da Jen De De Dam Jovara Jo Nge Je Sedan Jana Je Lame Jan Jo Jo Do Do Jem Daya Majru Kanya Dugam Pendra Le Do Zanje Do Ba Je O Je Do Sedan Jana Je Lame Jan Jo Jo Do Do Jem Daya Majru Kanya Dugam Nendo Sanje Do Ba Je O Nge Je Java Zeno Jana Lame Jojo Jodo Dujenda Dajama Ka-Nying Jogen Pendale Dosa Jendroba Yoma Re Brahma Jonela Jojo Javyo Namla Jazara Zojo Yene Joai Gaza Jende Nanga Gawe Jesu Daraja Bada Reze Ngaje Damze Nyamja Jabada Zo Jeven Zona Jaze Jamba Jela Jera Daye Doa Dunga Jerwa Temba Jela Zambe Jego Gamba Jewa Zambe Jenya Drove de Jenya Meda Joda Gende Sabe Gawan Droge Jojo Nyembro Dobje Re Zembe Majone Lazo Chojo Yayo Nala Zanzalo Zojo Yele Joa Ye Gaza Jete Nanga Gawe Sodra Janjo Zebe Lamba Reze Maje Damze Nyamja Shambada Zozo Jeve Zonaji Jaza Juba Jela Jera Daye Doa Donga Jirbala Bemba Jeta Zambe Jegre Gamba Jewa Zamye Jenye Do Drove De Jenyane Meda Jodage De Zozabe Gewa Droge Jojo Nyembo Dobje Ngoma Re Zembe Majone Lazo Jojo Javyo Nala Zazala Ngazo Na Yele Joa Gaza Jede Naga Gawe Jesu Daraja Sebe Laban Renze Ngaje Damze Nyamja Jabada Zozo Jeve Zona Jaze Jaba Jela Jera Dayedo Donga Jirvala Pemba Jidra Zambe Jigra Gawa Jawa Zambe Chinyen Do Drove De Jenyame Meda Dage De Zozo Begawa Droge Janjo Nyam Dobje Ngo Sonam De Doge Jeda Donga Ganda Dala Minjuru Je Donga Me De Do Me Da Jege Nyam Nyen Dan La Ne Sho So Je Dam Je Vai Jo Ram La Kurve Donga Jele Dovra Churu Da Dorsim Gomde Gola Yangja Durti Shugi Tomara Tenji Surun Tapani Tata Yoga Imana Shivasi Shusani Da Nara She Hare Junna Yang Kertu Senjere Ani Minda Dorsim Hare Inare Ani Yang Di Tosanya Shasavana Ani Kirindam Zorin Kare Gona Yang Chansu Sengi Sidi 인식 미식 쓴 거래요. 아니 장수기 쓴 있지 마시나 아니 지 가래 전화에 이렇게 나를 가래 전화야. 아니 최초로 말이 전화 사주 시스템이 된다 나왔긴도 아니 선다 사이드 배관 소리요.
Can everyone hear okay? Yeah. So, whatever practice we do, whether we're taking refuge, generating bodhicitta, offering mandala, doing guru yoga, whether we're doing development stage practice or completion stage practice, whatever we do in the context of Dharma, has to be embraced with the view of bodhicitta, or with the intention or motivation of bodhicitta. If it's not, then it's not dharma in the sense, or it's not a kind of a Mahayana dharma. So, with that said, it's incredibly important to always make sure we embrace our practice in the beginning with this mind of bodhicitta.
당나라도 친구나 어디서 약년 공대와 지단기 도르체 템바스와 도르체 세디 가르레스나 당나라도 오니기 된다라 제가 포함되는 오니기 된다라 미 도르체라 오니기 남네 포함을 유시들과 같은 유시들과 Tela sembala, namana doce tela in pombaini, ani sembala tela in ishe, ani tela doce tela in ishe is never sitting. Kana doce la diru di oni di sembala di nani ishe tela otra vista foto.
So we're practicing the visualization of Vajrasattva. Well, what does Vajrasattva mean? So the word Vajra connotes the meaning of emptiness, openness or freedom from elaboration. All phenomena are said to be empty or emptiness, and is represented as a dorje or a Vajra. And it's from within that emptiness that arises a kind of a knowing wakefulness. Sometimes this is translated in so many different ways, but when we talk about the Buddha's wisdom, like that, the omniscient wisdom, sometimes is translated, but a kind of knowingness arises from within that. We call that simba, or a sattva. And simba in Tibetan is a kind of refers to the mind, a kind of a being or a mind. So it's from within this heart of emptiness comes an unimpeded wisdom. So we can also say the unity of space and wisdom is referred to as Vajrasattva.
약용 스티가도 아니 프랑 페자 프랑라 프랑에 나도와 보메 이슈부 김혜진이 다르자 프랑에 나도와 도시소바 프랑기 왜 나를 가르치나디 뽕이 찾아래 나랑도 도시소바 약용 나가 나랑도 미 파와 아직 포지자 뭐지 이 바탕도 많이 봐와 자도 많이 바탕도 많이 봐 아니 탑랑 찾아라 아니 도시소바 아니 좀 싫어 뽕 찾아라 민미에 맞다고 대화 대라 아니 탑시기 수에서 나도 민미에가 대라 아니 도시소바 버리 그러나도 폰이 뭐하게 말해 기다리나 탑랑 찾아라 도시소 제가 뽕이 찾아라 유스세 아니 제가 또 찾아와나 아무도 말을 했거든요 아니 이 탑랑 찾아다 이 옆에 제가 뽕이 찾아라 유스세가 망고는 이 시에서 되네야 아니 이거 있어요 탑랑 찾아라 내가 쓰고 이제 제가 뽕을 쓰는데 이제 동바라 대동이 쓰는데 탑랑 찾아라 내가 아니 제가 뽕을 찾아야지 아니 대동이 쓰는 것들아 이야기는 사요와 아니 그래야 조사를 쓰나니 대동스나 대파를 하는 거가 되고 대동이 쓰는 것들아 어디서 봐야지 방법이 쓰는 것들아 어디서 대화가 공부 대동이 쓰는 것들아 어디서 봐야지 그래서 배치하게 되는도 이 그래서 약 유니세에서 나와봐
So when we do this visualization of Vajrasattva, this visualization includes the union of Vajrasattva and his consort. And the consort is described here in the practice as joyfully embrace atopa. Atopa is just is a back translation of this word Rang Nyama. It's a kind of consort who is his own light. So his own light is the female or the consort. What do we mean by own light? Own light is referring again to this open emptiness. And it's important to recognize that when we're doing this visualization of Vajrasattva and his consort, it's not like an ordinary like male and female person, right? It's not like an ordinary kind of say union. This is meant to reflect the divine nature. And what do we mean by that divine nature? This is the representation of means and wisdom, or sometimes we say compassion and wisdom. So we have these means which is compassion. This is the Vajrasattva, and then the wisdom, the empty wisdom aspect is Atopa, his consort. We talk about the union of method and wisdom. We can also talk about in the same context Vajrasattva and his consort being the unity of appearance and wisdom. So whether we say appearance or wisdom, or method and wisdom, or our empty appearance, or the unity of method and wisdom, this refers to the same thing. And so these two, they're not different. They're essentially the same, or we can say they're essentially not different. They are the same essence. Within the Maha-yoga tradition, we talk about this unity of openness and appearance, or say openness and emptiness. So, for example, again, the method aspect is on the appearance side. So this appearing method, or this appearing compassion, is the male aspect, the yap, the male partner, and then the empty wisdom, which is the other side, is the female aspect. And so we can also, and depending on the kind of tantra we're looking at, we can say that there is what we call empty bliss. The bliss part would be on the male side, and then the wisdom part or the empty part would be from the female side. So there is a empty bliss. We can also talk about empty awareness. The awareness side would refer to the male, and the emptiness side again would refer to the female.
싼다 대사바 그 소소하고 강사가 야마 그 아마 싸워있는 사람씩 말해. 그래서 싸움 말해. 마사나 가야 말해. 그래서는 강기 상계 이체바 비그 다수에서 너희들은 가슴을 마시면 하시기 나라 대바다 이제나 사제는 비니 주제라 예 저기 키아도 저거 정리니 이와 담아와 아마 이 시스템도 나라 이제나 바다나 이제나 강도는 하게 강다 주전에 봐 여러와 어떠나시는 게 최고적이네 나도 내지도 이 상으로 따서 다 나마 싸는 게 맞아.
So again, this unity, this inseparability of means and wisdom, or in particular, according to the liturgy, we have this empty bliss. There's the bliss aspect is emphasized here, or empty bliss, this unity of bliss is sometimes how it's translated. It can also be translated as ease or comfort, or even happiness. So this unity is given the name Vajrasattva and his consort, right? Just given the label of Vajrasattva and consort. It's referring to this unity. In essence, Vajrasattva is none other than our root teacher, inseparable with the form of Vajrasattva. And then when we visualize, when we're thinking about Vajrasattva, when we're visualizing Vajrasattva, the form of Vajrasattva should be the wisdom. It's translated as a kind of the clarity of wisdom, or this aspect of wisdom. It's a kind of embodiment of wisdom, the form itself. So, of course, its essence is unfindable, or its essence is empty. Its nature, what it appears to be like, is luminous or lucid. And how do we translate into visualization? When we visualize the deity, we see them being like rainbow light. They have this light quality to them, or this luminous, lucid quality to them, rather than visualizing them being of flesh and bone, or of being of even like being of any kind of precious metal or stone or anything like that. We see them as light. We don't think of them as like a drawing or a picture. We see them as the embodiment of this wisdom in a kind of light body, or that kind of lucid body, not thinking of it as a kind of material substance. Why? Again, because this visualization is none other than the embodiment of the wisdom and capacity or power of the Buddhas, is the embodiment of that. And I understand that for some people it's difficult to visualize, do this practice of visualization, and frankly that's okay. There's really no problem. As it says in the Treasury of Blessings, the Sarana on the Shakyamuni Buddha, it talks about how whoever has faith and has pure perception, the Buddha is right there in front of you. Meaning that the Buddha is wisdom, and wisdom has no spatial limit, right? It's not near, nor is it far, but is all pervasive. So for those that have faith and pure perception towards that, then whenever bringing to mind the Buddha, whether even if it's not a visualized form of the Buddha is always there. So whether or not your visualization is very good or is not very good, it doesn't matter. As long as you have that conviction that the Buddha is there, or Vajrasattva is there, then they're there.
아니 되게 이제 아방 아니 이제 좀 추수 사서 네 이것이 이제 되게 예당 아니 다르게 가슴으로 내려와 근데 남자 숨 마시 좀 숨지 다들 너는 레레레가 샤바가 여러 개이나 그렇다면 이제 아니 나도 위로 가면 지금 말이다 난기 또 얘네 지대기 얘네 수주로 티 얘네 지도를 뒤바퀴 아니 다 달라 아니 난기 얘네 되기 시간이 달라 또 이제 얘네 수수세 아 근데 이제 수지에 아니 이 샤르치가 차미가 자꾸 지키는 먹으라 때 너도 샤르디 최선적인 내용이 지키는 약속이래 네 스티로아 아니 샤르도 지키는 시신이랑 또봐 이 차미들이 가까시라 이수내가 또 가까시라 이수내가 이 차미에바기 아니 어제디 또 이수내가 달라 대단 아니 이게 마음으로 추출제가 제가 디스트리도 대만신기 나라도 답변 하고 하구나 나라도 동라 우리 제방 대야마 도지 주의스와 뭐 대조양 국제 거래를 도제세 강에 중국세 강에 이게 강에 이들이 이게 그 유튜브에 쏟아 강에 굉장히 하나 하고도 똥이
When we visualize Vajrasattva, it says here, adorned with the silks and jeweled ornaments. So Vajrasattva as well as his consort are ornamented or dressed in the 13 symbols of the Sambhogakaya Buddha. So the 13 ornaments or garments of the Sambhogakaya. There are said to be 5 garments, or sometimes they're translated as the 5 silk garments, and then there's the 8 jewel ornaments that they wear. So 5 and 8, that's 13 in total. Each of them has a specific meaning. They're not randomly just 13 garments that they wear, but there's meaning behind every single one. But rather than going into the detail, just recognize that each of these silks and these ornaments are said to be the manifestation of the spontaneous or the spontaneous manifestation of the qualities of the Buddhas. So there's a natural effulgence that comes with this realization and takes form in this particular context as what they wear. The same thing for their limbs. For example, Vajrasattva has 2 arms and 2 legs and a single face, right? That's not the case for all deities. They each have a meaning. And for that, we would say the single face of the Vajrasattva represents the single bindu of Dharmata or Dharmadhatu. The 2 legs represent neither abiding in samsara nor the peace of nirvana. The legs being in the full lotus posture. The 2 arms represent method and wisdom. In the right hand, the implement is a vajra, which represents empty awareness, and the left hand holding a bell represents empty appearance. So each one has a meaning, and this is when doing development stage practice, this recollection on the meaning of each one of these visualized aspects called recollecting purity. And so it's important whatever tantric practice that involves visualization, for example, like in Chu, we talk, you should kind of know the reasons behind why such and such is depicted in the visualization. And that can be studied and researched.
어쨌든 바디세 다 traditional 신기 나 독서라 아니가 아무것도 이것도 바디도 이슈자가 같아도 근데 다 되게 제대로 아니 신기도 사람과 슈사이바 이까지 거래스 근데 이 목이 시비도 되라 또 지세들이 두소라 이게 홍지와 홍대양 아니 교수님 들어가서 막 홍지들이 홍지수비 시에다가 툭소라 툭소 툭소라 그래 아니 대파 계속나 가려서나 아니 지금 가봐 얘기야 세죠라 걔나 지금 비상계기 한국의 하나 봐서 얘기가 그랬대 네 지금 가봐 얘기야 대치를 기획이 아니들라 이게 계속 봐요 이제 제가 아니 나도 이 내보기도 싶지 얘기가도 아니 이게 야와다 그러니까 아사나 아니 이게 홍트라 이게 홍트라 밑바닥 이게 홍트라 밑바닥 도시에서 말이야 미체 이게 홍트라 밑바닥 아니 까까라 미스카서 이게 홍지 않고 살마 이스티카도 밑바닥이 많이 봐 도시에서 지와가 이게 온라인 나가서 이시에 이거나 샤니가도 되니 이게 나와야 되니까도 말 가지고 가고 디시바 때부터 아니 스테이지부터 이거도 또 아니 설마 비치가 아니 너무 세게 내가 가고 이렇게 까까라 때부터 대산감이 이게 돼 까까라 개발아 가르치 너무 이게 와라 개발이 돼 까까라 이게 뭐도 이제 좀 좋아요 또 아니 this 나리 이거는 뭐 제가 도스나 선생님이 많이 봐주는 제
So that's the visualization for the power of the support. Right? We have these four powers. The next is generating that remorse. That would be the power of, translated here is the power of remorse. And then there's the power of the antidote. Power of the antidote begins with the liturgy in the center of the moon disk in his heart. So here, the important thing to visualize is especially this hung, the hung that's at the center of Vajrasattva's heart center. This is said to be the embodiment of all the Buddha's wisdom. And so it's given this title, here it says the heart life. Tuk means, it can mean wisdom, it can mean heart, it can mean mind, and sok is a kind of a life force. So it's the life, the wisdom light force, the life force of all the Buddhas. It said, so that's the home. It's okay. So that Hong as well is says to contain, of course, all infinite, the wisdom of all infinite Buddhas, and of course, Buddhas are infinite, right? You can't really count all the Buddhas, but we categorize all this, the aligned, all the awakened beings into the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. So again, even this Hung is said to be the embodiment of all the peaceful and wrathful deities. So, so when it comes to the power of the antidote, visualizing everything at one time is obviously, it can be difficult, especially for beginners. For example, not only do we have the Hung, but we have the visualization of all 100 syllables of the 100 syllable mantra. And again, that can be difficult to visualize. And if that's not possible, then you just visualize the Hung mainly. You know that the 100 syllables are there, but just mainly focus on the Hung. Of course, you're also visualizing on the top of your crown, Vajrasattva consort, and then in the heart center, the Hung. You can just visualize that. It's also okay. Even that can be difficult for some people. So just visualizing Vajrasattva and his consort is fine, knowing that they are the embodiment of the wisdom of all Buddhas, or they are of the nature of that, or the embodied nature of wisdom. And again, doing all of this again at the same time can be difficult, right? So you can take turns. You can begin the practice with focusing on the support, but then you can go to the power of remorse, then the power of the antidote. right? You can take time doing these individually rather than doing it all at the same time. You can think about the different stages individually of the visualization for sending out light rays, making offerings, dissolving into beings, and then dissolving into you. You can take time doing this individually, however you're comfortable. So again, so you don't have to do it all at one time. So don't feel pressure to do, try to feel like you have to do everything at one time, but you can do it gradually, whatever feels comfortable.
자, 디지디양, 다 이게 홍당, 막, 자와, 한미제는 딱 이게 감리, 받아서도 여기 기리처럼 강송아, 근데 사기에 주문이 더 더버들 뒤송아, 근데 뒤송아, 다디 여기 저장 나는 개발도 윤기 상내라기와, 윤기 상내네, 이 방법에 아버지 당이 치마에 찌르게 치마에 데려가도 트라슈와 시가지 네 나사 탐제 나 하기나 예 탐제 속사 기득군데 마시니 아니 마음도 그는 얼마 나보다 상랑랑 수랑이와 필요서지다 똑바로서니와 되는 나님 이 나도 예시 개발이나 나보다 그래도 지게 개발이나 네 바사를 괜히 아니 올라 아니 시달리기 신제라 아니 그걸 내자 바보다 먹고도 제가 통제기 takhala 아니 디지기 나발라 코나발라 디지토 성과로 내자 보내던 거 커서 상관이 드리는 거 걔나 나시에 같이 나시 고마드나냐 나나보다 디지치만에 빠지 와 대화는 시고 많이 봐 상관이야 하게 있으면 그때 우리 스스로 순제를 얘기 아니 지워라야 무슨 말을 해 봄. 다니 그리 파션도 많이 봐 just the shani anti patala and ratunani ni masu ani keja meshe and keja shegi and get chana ani di topasa karasna tama xianxia topa xianxia tama xianxia topa xianxia ani ko maro sama ba sa sama na ba di ani serki chingwa ta sugde serki chingwa ji yana 이 사람 쓰리나 가능이 되더라. 쓰리 기마라이라. 다시랑 쓰리 바르다와라. 바르팔랑 도로다 신도다 다바로다 그래서 정말 이 정도가 대사상 통해서기 난 발라이 연하지 아니 tamafanga 정거래. 아니 그냥 같이 이지 내지다 카드가 미시 파이 사라잖이라. 사라가 되게 쉬워나 아니 이제 가서디 논제 네가 전화도 봐서 청아지 라파르바 탱킹을 깨지 시작이 그대로와 아무도 청아세 이마 동행도 깨져 정말 말와 깨져 정말 말에 나 그래 어제 세대신 시간 가서디 어디 잘하시냐 양계의 마음으로 혼나고 초대해 봤나 됐어.
So after the visualization of the seed syllable, then there's this visualization of Amrita. The Amrita, it descends from the seed syllable, right? The seed syllable and the 100-syllable mantras. So the seed syllable and 100-syllable mantras themselves emit this flow and stream of Amrita that first of all fills at the crown of our head Vajrasattva and consort, completely fills them to the brim. And then it flows, it says in the text, from the union, the site of union between the male and the Vajrasattva and the consort. But specifically, it flows from the female's secret place, from the, you could say, from the female's womb, in a sense, falls and enters into our crown. We visualize that. Amrita completely cleansing ourselves and making us essentially transparent, so clean and so clean that our body is essentially transparent and see-through. We talked a little bit about how to visualize that this morning, thinking about all the sickness, evil forces, and obscurations and evil deeds exiting us through different kinds of visualizations, black smoke and tar, what have you. But whatever we do visualize, we see it exiting from particularly where we excrete, right? Where we urinate and where we defecate. From those orifices, it comes down. It leaves us particularly from those two places. Then if you do a more extensive visualization of this, it says in the text that you would visualize all of that, these obscurations and defilements which are mixed with the Amrita. They seep into the ground, and then they go under the ground and to then satisfy all the karmic debtors, all those that we have karmic debt with. It satisfies them and turns into whatever they like, whatever they want, whatever they need, and they enjoy it and are satisfied. So there's a more extensive visualization for that. But even if you don't do that, just constantly reflecting on being purified or cleansed of all one's negativities. And it's not just you. Visualize all sentient beings at the same time experiencing this. Meaning, on the crown of every single sentient being, you see a Vajrasattva, and they themselves are reciting, and they themselves are being cleansed of their negativities. And so it's also important when you're doing the Vajrasattva recitation not to talk. You're doing the recitation only. You're only reciting the mantra. Don't talk this and that with like a partner or someone. Because if you do kind of intersperse talking, normal kind of ordinary talking with the mantra, it becomes somewhat unclean in a sense. It's not really pure mantra. So to kind of do the recite mantra is kind of a pure thing or a clean thing, and then just talking about this and that and gossiping and this and that is a kind of impure thing. So going back and forth between that is just not very nice. There's an example, say there was some great masters in the past who had malas made of golden rosaries or golden malas, and the fact that they're entirely made of gold was what made them so beautiful. But if you were to have one kind of ordinary rock stuck in there, or maybe like a wooden bead stuck in there, it would just kind of throw the whole thing off. Something would just be off about it. And so that's the same thing here. We need to do our best to keep the mantra recitation as pure as possible. And if you have to talk, then it's best to put the mala down and then talk, and to kind of hold in your hand and pretending to do mantra practice and talking at the same time. This is not a nice, not a very pure and genuine way to do mantra recitation.